Young and the Restless predictions. Sharon headed for a breakdown? Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a nice day. Before we begin the video, please subscribe and give the video a thumbs up. Young and the Restless predictions suspect Sharon Newman could be headed for a breakdown now that her mental health appears to be declining on the CBS Sudser. Sharon Newman starting to struggle on Young and the Restless. Currently on Y&R, Sharon Newman is turning heads with her odd behavior. First, her daughter, Mariah Copeland, noticed she was off when she went to visit her at home. She knocked on the door continuously, and when Sharon didn't answer, she let herself in and found her staring off into space. Later, on Young and the Restless, Mariah's wife, Tessa Porter, noticed it too. Now, Sharon's youngest daughter, Faith Newman, is growing concerned. Recently, she became distraught while looking at photos of her deceased daughter, Cassie Newman. Of course, as a mother, that's only natural when you lose a child. However, it's not typical behavior for Sharon. She's acting out of character, and it looks like the start of something big. Sharon finally front and center on Y&R. At least now Sharon Newman, Sharon Case, seems to be getting a decent storyline on Young and the Restless. For a while there, she was rarely on screen and seemed to be getting sidelined by the showrunners. Sharon's fan base is huge and they want to see her on the canvas regularly. Thankfully, they're getting their wish because things are shaking up for Sharon, but she may have a bumpy road ahead. Young and the Restless prediction. Mental health crisis ahead? No doubt, it's looking like the beginning of a crisis for Sharon. Fans know she suffers from bipolar disorder, but it's been under control for quite a while. However, her doctor recently put her a new meds for it, and it has her feeling out of sorts. That's what made Mariah Copeland, Karen Grimes, and Tessa Porter, Kate Fairbanks, begin to worry. And now her emotions are all over the place, which is concerning. Faith Newman, Lancaster, on Young and the Restless. Of course, there's a chance nothing will come of it. She told her doctor the new medication isn't sitting well with her, so he may take her off of it. However, it's likely the groundwork is being laid for a struggle for Sharon. Perhaps there's something underlying that her psychiatrist overlooked, something other than bipolar disorder. If so, she could be facing a real challenge soon, and this might be the beginning of a roller coaster ride for Sharon on Young and the Restless. There are shakeups all over Geno City on Y&R. Tune in every day to see if Sharon Newman continues to spiral downward on the CBS daytime drama. Sharon Newman has long been one of the central figures in the Young and the Restless, known for her compassionate nature, her ability to bring out the best in others, and her capacity to weather almost every storm that life throws her way. Over the years, Sharon has faced some of the most intense and difficult situations imaginable. From battling mental health issues to enduring betrayal, heartbreak, and loss, she's always managed to come out on the other side, often more determined and stronger than before. However, with everything that is currently unfolding in Genoa City, could Sharon's world be unraveling to the point where a breakdown is imminent? Sharon's complex relationships. Will they be her undoing? Sharon's relationship with her family, friends, and romantic partners has always been a cornerstone of her story. Yet, at this point, many of those relationships are being tested, and Sharon is struggling to hold it all together. Nick and Sharon have had an on-again, off-again relationship over the years, with deep love, but also plenty of pain and conflict. Sharon was devastated when Nick was involved in a cheating scandal with Phyllis, which ended their marriage, and while they've maintained a good co-parenting relationship for their children, it's clear that unresolved tension still lingers. Now that Nick has been drawn into the whirlwind of Sally Spectra's personal life and is increasingly entangled with her in both business and personal matters, Sharon is left questioning her place in Nick's life and perhaps her value as a partner in his future. Despite Sharon's calm and steady demeanor on the outside, the emotional undercurrents of Nick's relationships could slowly push her to her breaking point. Her vulnerability is starting to show more and more, especially as she watches Nick's focus shift towards Sally. Sharon might tell herself that she's fine, but it's evident that deep down, she's struggling to process this new development, and her heart may not be as healed as she thinks. As if this wasn't enough to contend with, Sharon's relationship with her daughter, Faith, has been rocky with her own rebellious streak and emotional struggles, has often found herself caught in the middle of Sharon's complicated love life. Sharon is fiercely protective of Faith and has often struggled with how much she can shelter her daughter from the emotional turmoil that surrounds their family. With Faith's journey toward adulthood on the horizon, and her own relationship dynamics with her father and her mother's ex-husband Dylan McAvoy in the picture, Sharon will have to navigate the emotional pressure that comes with trying to protect her children while managing the strain of her own romantic and personal life. The fractures in Sharon's family relationships and the emotional toll they are starting to take will play a significant role in her breaking point. Though Sharon has weathered difficult times before, the combination of these ongoing struggles might be setting the stage for a collapse, especially as the people she loves seem to be drifting away emotionally, either because of their own decisions or circumstances outside of her control. Mental health. Will Sharon's struggles resurface? One of Sharon's most pivotal and heartbreaking storylines was her battle with mental health issues, specifically her struggle with bipolar disorder. Sharon's past experiences with mania, depression, and hospitalization have been significant parts of her story. Though Sharon has always tried to remain in control of her health, the fact that she's faced immense stress in recent years, especially regarding her relationship with her children, her professional life, and the continual heartache tied to her romantic history, means that these issues could resurface. Sharon's emotional resilience, while admirable, has always been a double-edged sword. She has often buried her pain in an attempt to move forward, which has led to a bottling up of intense feelings. As Sharon becomes increasingly overwhelmed by the chaotic events of her life, it's highly likely that she will experience a relapse, especially given the emotional pressures she's been under. The show has often hinted at Sharon's vulnerability when it comes to her mental health, with subtle signs that she may be struggling more than she lets on. If Sharon reaches a breaking point, the storyline could delve into her emotional collapse, possibly revealing that, despite her best efforts, the years of accumulated stress and emotional strain have caught up with her. While Sharon is one of the most grounded characters on The Young and the Restless, she's not invincible, and the reality is that her inner turmoil could spill out in unexpected ways. The sharp changes in mood, feelings of exhaustion, and the difficulty in managing relationships could trigger a mental health crisis, leaving Sharon to grapple with her emotional stability once again. Business and professional life. Is Sharon at her limit? Sharon's professional life has always been intertwined with her personal life. As the owner of Crimson Lights, Sharon has always managed to balance her family and career with a sense of grace. However, the pressures of her business, along with her responsibility to her family and the unpredictable drama in Genoa City, may be starting to chip away at her mental and emotional well-being. Though Sharon's cafe has been a central place for many of Genoa City's residents, it's also a source of stress for her. With increasing competition and the need to keep up with the demands of running a business, Sharon might find herself overwhelmed by the weight of responsibility. The stress of dealing with unexpected problems at the cafe, while simultaneously balancing her familial duties and romantic entanglements, could push her beyond her limits. Moreover, Sharon's involvement with Nick, Phyllis, and Victoria Newman on the business front has often led to tension. In the past, she has faced serious challenges in her business partnerships with others, particularly when secrets, betrayals, and misunderstandings clouded her professional relationships. Sharon's work with other members of the Newman family, especially in the volatile environment of Genoa City, may push her into a corner, making her question whether she can truly juggle it all. As Sharon starts to feel the increasing pressure of maintaining her business and relationships, it seems possible that her personal life and professional life will collide, pushing her to a breaking point. Her inability to fully control the outcomes in both areas of her life could lead her into a downward spiral that will leave her questioning everything. The buildup, Sharon's breaking point. While Sharon has always shown a remarkable ability to bounce back from difficult situations, the sheer number of stressors in her life right now might eventually lead to a dramatic collapse. Between her emotional struggles, her complex relationships, and the demands of a tightrope, one that could snap under the pressure. At this point in the storyline, Sharon may be heading toward an emotional breakdown as she finds herself unable to cope with all that life is throwing her way. Her current trajectory suggests that she's balancing on the edge of a cliff, and one small push, perhaps a confrontation with Nick or another betrayal from her family, could be the tipping point. Sharon's emotional fragility is becoming more apparent with every passing episode. She's been keeping up a brave face, trying to hold it together for her family and friends, but there are already signs that the cracks are showing. Whether it's her quiet isolation at times or the quick emotional outbursts, Sharon is clearly struggling to maintain her composure. This buildup of suppressed emotions is a classic sign of someone on the brink of a breakdown. The catalyst, a major crisis in Genoa City. It's only a matter of time before something, or someone, becomes the catalyst that leads to Sharon's unraveling. Whether it's a tragic event, a shocking betrayal, or a heartbreaking decision, this crisis will likely push Sharon past her breaking point. With the drama surrounding the Newmans, Abbotts, and other key players in Genoa City, it's possible that Sharon will find herself at the center of a new conflict. Perhaps a family emergency will force her to choose between her personal life and her professional commitments, or maybe a close friend or family member will betray her trust. Whatever the crisis is, it will be one that exposes Sharon's vulnerability and forces her to face the emotions she's been burying. This crisis could be the final straw, leaving Sharon to break down emotionally. It's likely that Sharon will retreat inward, finding solace in isolation before eventually seeking help or guidance from those closest to her. In typical Young and the Restless fashion, this breakdown could set the stage for Sharon to rebuild herself, stronger and more self-aware than ever before. The aftermath, a path to healing. Should Sharon face a breakdown, her eventual path to healing would likely involve introspection and growth. As difficult as it would be to watch her struggle, this storyline would provide an opportunity for Sharon to confront the pain she's been carrying and work toward a healthier, more balanced future. In the aftermath of her emotional collapse, Sharon may lean on her friends, Phyllis, Victoria, Lily, and others who have always been there for her. They will likely be instrumental in her recovery, helping her rediscover her inner strength and resilience. Sharon's journey of healing may also include revisiting her past relationships, particularly with Nick and Faith, who both have their own unresolved feelings toward her. By confronting these relationships head-on, Sharon will have the opportunity to rebuild her life in a way that is not defined by past mistakes or heartbreaks. She might learn to let go of the expectations she's placed on herself and finally give herself the grace she deserves. Sharon's story arc may shift from tragedy to empowerment, ultimately reminding viewers that even in the darkest times, there is always the possibility of growth and redemption. The Young and the Restless has always thrived on intense emotional drama, and Sharon's potential breakdown would be a powerful and moving arc for her character. Whether or not Sharon's breakdown happens, it's clear that she's in the midst of an emotional storm. Her resilience will be tested in the coming months, but if anyone can emerge stronger from the ashes of their past, it's Sharon Newman. Stay tuned to see how Sharon navigates the challenges ahead, and if she can once again find the balance and peace that has often eluded her. As Sharon stands on the precipice of a mental and emotional collapse, It's clear that her road to recovery won't be easy. If the recent buildup of stress in her life leads to a breakdown, the aftermath will be just as complicated as the crisis itself. Her journey to healing will involve painful self-reflection, difficult conversations, and ultimately the rebuilding of her life on her own terms. Will Sharon be able to bounce back stronger than before, or will her life spiral further out of control? Sharon's mental health, a new battle. While Sharon's past struggles with bipolar disorder have shaped much of her character, her mental health journey is far from over. Sharon has always been a beacon of strength for others, but now she may be forced to face the reality that her own mental well-being has been neglected for far too long. Her emotional suppression and efforts to hold everything together have likely created an internal pressure cooker that could explode at any moment. As Sharon's breakdown becomes more imminent, it's essential to recognize that the show may take this storyline in a way that highlights the importance of representation of mental health in the young and the restless is often nuanced, and Sharon's storyline could be an opportunity to shed light on the importance of therapy and support systems when dealing with emotional distress. Sharon might seek counseling, or perhaps she will turn to a trusted friend, family member, or even a new therapist who will help guide her through the tumultuous journey ahead. By focusing on Sharon's recovery, the show would not only explore the challenges of mental health, but also demonstrate that seeking help is not a sign of weakness, but of strength. It's a theme that could resonate with fans who have experienced similar struggles, and it could offer a sense of hope and encouragement to those watching. Faith's role in Sharon's healing. One of the key factors that could help Sharon through this difficult time is her relationship with Faith. Faith, who has grown from a rebellious teenager into a young adult, has often been the source of Sharon's emotional strength, despite the turbulence of their relationship. The bond between mother and daughter has been tested over the years, but Sharon's unconditional love for Faith has always been at the core of her character. However, Faith's own emotional struggles, including her challenges with self-worth and her previous health battles, have created additional stress for Sharon. If Sharon begins to experience a breakdown, Faith will likely play a significant role in her recovery. As Faith matures and becomes more emotionally astute, she could provide Sharon with a source of strength that she has previously only provided to her daughter. Sharon's need for validation and connection with her child could become the catalyst for a healing process that involves more open communication and mutual support. Their relationship could evolve, shifting from one of parental responsibility to a more mature, equal partnership in facing the emotional challenges ahead. The process of mending their relationship could also serve as a redemption arc for Faith, who has often been caught in the shadows of her mother's complicated emotional life. As Sharon works to recover, Faith may be forced to confront her own unresolved issues, which could strengthen both of them as individuals and as a family. The healing between mother and daughter would be a poignant part of Sharon's overall recovery, reminding viewers of the power of familial love and resilience. Nick's influence, a double-edged sword. Nick Newman has always been a major player in Sharon's life, and his involvement will undoubtedly have a profound impact on her healing journey. Sharon and Nick share a deep connection, and despite the turmoil in their relationship, they have always maintained a sense of loyalty to one another. Nick's actions in the coming months will either be a source of healing or another stressor in Sharon's already fragile state. As Nick becomes more involved with Sally's spectra, Sharon might feel a deep sense of betrayal and abandonment. Even if Nick doesn't intend to hurt Sharon, his continued emotional and physical involvement with someone else could exacerbate Sharon's feelings of inadequacy. It's likely that she will question her place in Nick's life, particularly when she needs him most. However, there's also the possibility that Nick could step up and support Sharon through her emotional turmoil. Despite his romantic entanglements with Sally, Nick has always had a soft spot for Sharon, and his deep love for her children may inspire him to be there for Sharon in a way that is both supportive and nurturing. As Sharon's breakdown begins to take shape, Nick's reaction will be pivotal. Will he show his loyalty to her when she needs it most, or will his own romantic interests cloud his judgment and lead to even more heartache? Regardless of how their relationship evolves, Nick's role in Sharon's recovery will be complex. On one hand, he could serve as a pillar of support, helping her regain some of her stability. On the other hand, his emotional entanglement with Sally could be another form of emotional abandonment, intensifying Sharon's struggle to cope with her mental health issues. Phyllis and Victoria, unexpected allies. Phyllis Summers and Victoria Newman are two women with whom Sharon has had complicated relationships, often marked by rivalry, jealousy, and conflict. However, in her time of need, Sharon might find herself turning to these women for support in ways she wouldn't have expected. Both Phyllis and Victoria, while often at odds with Sharon, have also demonstrated moments of compassion and understanding in the past. Phyllis, though she has had her share of conflict with Sharon, has also been a source of support in difficult times. As Sharon's breakdown looms, Phyllis could find herself in the position of stepping in as a friend, perhaps offering Sharon the tough love she needs to face her own the pressures of being a strong woman in Genoa City, and her own battles with emotional distress could make her more empathetic toward Sharon's struggle. Victoria, despite her fierce business mentality, has had moments where her maternal instincts have been evident. With her own family troubles and strained relationships, it's not out of the question that she could offer Sharon support during this emotional crisis. Victoria's pragmatic approach might help Sharon see the need to take charge of her own emotional well-being, and the two could find themselves in a situation where they bond over their shared challenges as mothers and women trying to balance everything. Both women could prove to be valuable assets in Sharon's healing journey, helping her see the power of connection and the importance of accepting help from unexpected sources. With their support, Sharon may learn that there's no shame in letting her guard down and allowing others to be there for her. The fallout: Sharon's path to rediscovery. As Sharon starts to confront her inner turmoil and face the root causes of her breakdown, she will begin the long and painful process of rediscovering herself. The rebuilding of her mental and emotional health will require patience, vulnerability, and time. Sharon will likely go through stages of grief as she lets go of the expectations she has placed on herself and allows herself to embrace imperfection. Her journey to recovery will involve more than just healing from her mental health struggles. It will also require a reevaluation of her relationships and her place in Genoa City. Sharon may decide to take a step back from her relationship with Nick, realizing that her healing is the most important priority. She might also consider her role as a mother to Faith and her responsibility to herself. With time, Sharon could come to the realization that she doesn't need to rely on others to feel complete. Her sense of self-worth will ultimately come from within. The road to healing will be full of challenges, but it will also present opportunities for Sharon to grow in ways she never anticipated. The support she receives from friends and family will help her become stronger, and ultimately, Sharon may emerge from this dark period with a renewed sense of purpose and confidence. She may even find new love, or more importantly, discover the love she has for herself, a love that has always been there, but has often been overshadowed by the weight of her responsibilities and struggles. Conclusion: a new chapter for Sharon Newman. While Sharon's potential breakdown is an inevitable part of her story, it will also serve as a turning point in her character's arc. As Sharon faces the possibility of unraveling, she will also be presented with the opportunity to heal and emerge stronger than ever. Her journey of recovery will not only redefine her character, but will also provide a powerful message to viewers about the importance of mental health, self-compassion, and the power of relationships. Whether she can rebuild her life and relationships, or whether she will face even greater challenges ahead, Sharon's story remains a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. In Genoa City, where drama and conflict are never far away, Sharon's emotional evolution will undoubtedly continue to captivate audiences. One thing is for sure, her story is far from over, and the journey she takes will be one worth watching. As the young and the restless continues to evolve, Sharon's ongoing struggle and path to recovery will undoubtedly be a key storyline. While her breakdown could initially appear to be a dramatic low point, it may ultimately become the catalyst for her most significant transformation yet. The exploration of Sharon's emotional healing process could serve as a poignant reminder of her vulnerability and strength. But there is also a compelling potential for new beginnings and unexpected twists in her life. Sharon's newfound strength. As Sharon begins to confront her emotional breakdown, there will be an undeniable shift in her character. For years, Sharon has been seen as the nurturing, selfless figure who's always been there for others. But in this dark moment, she might have to learn how to put herself first and ask for the help she desperately needs. This may seem like a daunting task, but it could also be the very thing that allows Sharon to rediscover herself in a way she never thought possible. In her journey of healing, Sharon might seek support not only from her close friends and family, but also from therapy, a tool that could give her the structure and insight she's needed for so long. Therapy could open doors for Sharon to explore deeper, unresolved issues from her past, helping her address both her mental health struggles and emotional baggage. Whether it's working through her past relationships, processing her trauma, or re-examining her role in Genoa City's therapeutic journey would be both cathartic and transformative. While Sharon's breakdown might initially seem like a loss of control, it would ultimately represent a reclamation of her emotional agency. She would gradually come to recognize that her strength doesn't lie in maintaining a perfect facade, but in allowing herself to be vulnerable, ask for help, and embrace the messy, unpredictable nature of healing. This might be one of Sharon's most empowering moments, as she learns to accept both her flaws and her capacity for resilience. Faith's growth, from daughter to confidant. Faith's involvement in Sharon's healing process is bound to be significant, especially as Sharon's breakdown forces both mother and daughter to reconsider their relationship. Faith, who has often struggled to navigate the complexity of Sharon's life and her own, may find herself stepping up in ways he hadn't before. As a young adult, Faith has matured and gained her own sense of independence. She may no longer be the child who relied solely on her mother for guidance. She may begin to play a more active role in supporting Sharon during this difficult time. Faith's own journey of growth could lead to a deeper understanding of Sharon's struggles. She might begin to see her mother as not just a caretaker, but as a woman navigating her own emotional turmoil. As Sharon's breakdown deepens, Faith may become the unexpected source of wisdom, offering her mother the comfort and reassurance Sharon has given her for so many years. In this new dynamic, Faith could serve as an anchor for Sharon, a reminder that their connection is unbreakable even in the darkest of times. Faith's emotional maturity might also allow Sharon to see herself more clearly, helping her acknowledge that the cycle of emotional pain doesn't need to define her. This role reversal will be an essential part of Sharon's journey of self-discovery, teaching both Sharon and Faith valuable lessons about the complexity of love, responsibility, and healing. Nick's role, the double-edged sword. While Sharon's breakdown creates new avenues for personal growth, it also invites complications, particularly in her relationships with men. Nick's role in Sharon's emotional journey will undoubtedly be a central plot point. While he has always been a stabilizing force in Sharon's life, his involvement with Sally could place an emotional burden on Sharon that's hard to shake off. His relationship with Sally might seem like a betrayal to Sharon, and watching him move forward with someone else could trigger feelings of rejection, abandonment, and jealousy. However, Nick's true role in Sharon's life might not be one of romantic reconciliation, but of emotional support. If Sharon and Nick's bond is strong enough, they may find themselves turning toward one another in a more platonic, yet deeply meaningful way. Nick's ability to be there for Sharon as a friend, whether by providing comfort, offering practical help, or just being a sounding board, could create a new, more grounded relationship dynamic. Nick's support might also involve helping Sharon overcome her insecurities and feelings of inadequacy, reminding her of her worth beyond her romantic relationships. Despite the romantic tension between Sharon and Nick, it's possible that this period of emotional vulnerability will allow them to redefine their connection in a way that feels more balanced and emotionally healthy. It's also worth considering that Nick's continued emotional entanglement with Sally could spark jealousy or self-doubt within Sharon, pushing her to work through her personal feelings of rejection. This conflict could ultimately result in Sharon becoming more independent, realizing that her worth is not determined by her relationships with men. It could inspire her to seek new opportunities and build a life that is uniquely her own, separate from her past. Phyllis and Victoria, unlikely allies in Sharon's corner. It's not often that Sharon finds herself leaning on Phyllis or Victoria, but both women could play crucial roles in her recovery. Though they have a history of rivalry and tension with Sharon, both Phyllis and Victoria have moments of emotional depth that allow them to offer Sharon a fresh perspective. Phyllis, despite her complicated history with Sharon, has a deep understanding of personal pain. Phyllis herself has faced many personal losses, betrayals, and heartaches. This shared experience of emotional hardship might allow Phyllis to empathize with Sharon in ways that others cannot. She might even offer Sharon the tough love she needs, helping her see that she doesn't have to shoulder her burdens alone. Phyllis' willingness to stand by Sharon in her time of need could allow their relationship to evolve beyond its past animosities, creating a foundation for a genuine friendship. Might step up as an unlikely ally. Though their relationship has been fraught with competition and mistrust, Victoria's role as a mother and businesswoman may help her connect with Sharon on a deeper level. As someone who's navigated her own struggles with family and career, Victoria could offer Sharon invaluable advice on maintaining emotional stability amid chaos. Their shared experiences of raising children while juggling personal and professional responsibilities could create a space for mutual understanding and support. The involvement of Phyllis and Victoria would provide Sharon with a well-rounded support system, each woman bringing her unique perspective and strength. By leaning on them for emotional support, Sharon would not only gain tools to heal, but also experience the power of forming unexpected alliances in times of crisis. The future, a reborn Sharon Newman. Ultimately, Sharon's breakdown could serve as a turning point in her character's arc, leading to a rebirth of sorts. The road to recovery will not be quick or easy, but it could allow Sharon to redefine herself both personally and professionally. As Sharon begins to heal, she may rediscover her passion for helping others, perhaps focusing on mental health advocacy or creating a support system for those going through similar struggles. This could manifest in the form of a new project, a public role, or even a deeper commitment to her cafe business. Sharon might begin to find a new sense of purpose, one that isn't tied to her past relationships or the expectations of others, but to her own growth and healing. Sharon's emotional journey could lead her to take more risks in her personal and professional life, learning to assert her needs and make decisions that prioritize her own well-being. Whether it's reestablishing a meaningful romantic connection or building a fulfilling career path, Sharon's future is filled with possibilities. In her emotional recovery, Sharon might also become a source of inspiration to others in Genoa City. Her journey toward healing could serve as a reminder that even in the most difficult moments, there's always hope for growth, redemption, and self-discovery. As she embraces her vulnerabilities and allows herself to heal, Sharon's strength will shine brighter than ever before, setting the stage for a new chapter in her life. Sharon Newman's path to recovery will undoubtedly be one of the most compelling storylines in The Young and the Restless in the months ahead. Her emotional breakdown will serve as the catalyst for profound change, pushing her to confront her past, reevaluate her relationships, and ultimately rediscover her sense of self. Whether she finds new love, deeper friendships, or personal fulfillment, Sharon's journey will be one of emotional growth, resilience, and healing, a story that resonates with anyone who has ever faced a difficult chapter in their life.